They say that beauty comes with a price. Some believe that the most beautiful things in this world are never given freely, but instead carry shadows attached to them. Shadows that linger and spread misfortune. Among all the cursed objects whispered about in hushed tones, haunted paintings, ancient relics, or cursed jewels, none has captured the imagination or instilled such chilling awe as the Hope Diamond, a brilliant blue gem, dazzling and hypnotic, yet whispered to be responsible for madness, ruin, and death. For centuries, this diamond has been both adored and feared, passing from kings to commoners, from the palaces of Europe to the vaults of America. Each time it changes hands, the stories follow, tales of its curse clinging tightly, as if the stone itself were alive, demanding a toll from those who dare to claim it. To understand the curse, you must first picture the diamond itself, roughly the size of a walnut. Its blue glow seems almost otherworldly. In the right light, it radiates a fiery red shimmer beneath its surface, as though some inner flame were trapped within. It is breathtaking, yet unsettling, a jewel that draws the eye but refuses to let it go. And it is that strange allure, perhaps, that has tempted so many to risk the shadow of its legend. The story begins centuries ago, in the rich mines of India. Some say the stone was once embedded in the eye of a statue of a Hindu goddess, placed there as an offering of devotion. A tale whispered with dread tells of a thief who pried the jewel free, stealing it from the sacred temple. From that moment, the curse began. Misfortune clung to the thief, and eventually, to anyone who would dare to possess the diamond. Though historians debate the truth of this legend, it fits too neatly with the tragedies that followed. Whether the stone came from a temple or simply a mine deep beneath Indian soil, one thing is certain. From the very start, its path through history was soaked in misfortune. The diamond was brought to Europe in the 1600s by a French gem merchant named Jean Baptiste. He had traveled far and wide, gathering jewels for the wealthy and powerful. Tavernier presented the massive blue diamond to King Louis XIV of France, the Sun King himself. Louis was enchanted by its brilliance. He purchased it and had it cut into a triangular shape, soon becoming known as the French blue. It glittered in the crown jewels of France, a symbol of divine power and unmatched wealth. But power comes with peril. Tavernier, the man who sold the gem, met an end that fueled whispers of the curse. Some say he was mauled to death by wild dogs on a return trip to Russia. Others say he fell into ruin, bankrupt and disgraced. The details differ, but the tale stuck. The curse had begun to show its teeth. For Louis XIV, the diamond was a prize, but it did not shield him from misfortune. His later years were marked by endless wars and the deaths of many of his heirs, leaving his throne vulnerable. His great-grandson, Louis XVI, and Queen Marie Antoinette would inherit the French blue. Two would meet ghastly ends, their heads severed by the guillotine during the French Revolution. While their downfall had political roots, many whispered that the cursed diamond had played its part. The French Revolution brought chaos, and the royal jewels were not spared. The French blue disappeared during a looting of the royal treasury in 1792. For decades, its whereabouts remained unknown. Some believed it had been smuggled out of France, recut, and sold in secret. Others said it had been hidden, waiting for the right moment to reappear. When it finally did resurface, it was no longer the French blue, but what would become known as the Hope Diamond. By the early 1800s, a large blue diamond appeared in London. The Hope banking family eventually acquired it, giving the stone its modern name. But with its new identity came new misfortunes. Henry Philip Hope, who purchased the stone, adored rare gems. But after his death, the diamond sparked bitter feuds among his heirs. The family fortune dwindled, the diamond becoming less a treasure and more a source of endless conflict. By the late 19th century, the Hope family was bankrupt, and the cursed jewel changed hands again. One of its most infamous owners was a French jeweler named Jacques Colette, who fell into despair and ruin. Another was a Russian prince who gifted it to a mistress only for her to be murdered not long after. Stories piled one atop another. Turkish sultans who owned it before their empire crumbled, wealthy collectors who lost fortunes, and socialites who fell into scandal and misery. The curse seemed unrelenting, weaving a trail of broken lives in its wake. Then came Evelyn Walsh McLean, a wealthy American In 1911, she purchased the Hope Diamond from Cartier, the famed jeweler. To her, the curse was nothing but an amusing story, a marketing trick to enhance the jewel's mystique. She even joked that if misfortune came, she was ready to face it. But soon, tragedy seeped into her life. Her young son was struck by a car and killed. Her daughter died by suicide. Her husband fell into madness, later confined to a mental institution, and her fortune crumbled into debt. Evelyn wore the diamond proudly at galas and parties, but behind the glamour was sorrow. The curse had claimed her as well. After her death, the Hope Diamond was sold once again. Eventually, it was donated to the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C., by Harry Winston, a jeweler who understood both its beauty and its dark reputation. He sent the gem to the museum by ordinary mail, wrapped in brown paper, as though daring the curse to strike one last time. Today, the Hope Diamond sits in the Smithsonian, encased in glass, glittering under the museum lights. Visitors flock to see it, marveling at its size and color, rarely aware of the long, tragic shadow it carries. The Smithsonian insists that the curse is nothing more than legend, a story woven by history and coincidence. And yet, those who study its past can't help but wonder, how can so many owners meet such dire ends? Can chance alone explain centuries of death, ruin, and despair? Some argue that the curse was born not from the diamond itself, but from human greed. The desire to own such a rare treasure, to control it, has driven people to jealousy, betrayal, and obsession. Perhaps the curse is not supernatural, but psychological, the madness that comes with owning something too precious, too dangerous. Others cling to the older tale that the diamond was stolen from a sacred statue, and that divine wrath has followed it across oceans and centuries. Stand before the Hope Diamond today, and it is hard not to feel a shiver. Its blue glow is cold, like frozen fire, both beautiful and unnerving. The glass barrier keeps it safely out of reach, but who can say whether the curse still lingers, waiting for the next owner bold enough or foolish enough to claim it? Stories like the Hope Diamond endure because they touch on something deep within us, the belief that beauty and horror can exist side by side, that nothing so dazzling could ever be free of shadow. Whether cursed by gods, haunted by human greed, or wrapped in coincidence, the Hope Diamond remains more than a jewel. It is a reminder that some treasures carry with them a price too steep to pay. And so the legend lives on. The Hope Diamond, locked away in the Smithsonian, safe, yet never fully tamed, continues to draw millions who stare into its depths, wondering if they are gazing not only at a stone, but at centuries of sorrow. Perhaps the curse is dormant, or perhaps it waits, biding its time, for the day it can move again, claiming another life in exchange for its eternal brilliance. Because sometimes, beauty is not a gift. Sometimes, beauty is a warning.